Hello, and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Tuesday, 28 January. I'm your host, Daniel, and let's get into the brief. Today we'll be covering DeepSeek's popularity should be a wake-up call, says Trump. Denmark has announced $2 billion plan to boost Arctic security, and the EU agrees to a roadmap at easing Syrian sanctions. So firstly, US President Donald Trump has highlighted the emergence of Chinese AI startup DeepSeek as a significant challenge for American AI companies. Speaking at a Republican congressional retreat in Florida, Trump described DeepSeek's success as a wake-up call for the US to intensify its efforts in AI development. DeepSeek's chatbot has outperformed leading US models and quickly became the top product on the Apple App Store in the US, surpassing OpenAI's ChatGPT. This rapid rise has caused a significant shakeup in the tech industry, with major companies like Nvidia, Microsoft, and Alphabet, who own Google, experiencing substantial drops in their stock price. Despite the initial shock, Trump suggested that this development could have a positive impact on pushing US companies to be more innovative, more cost-effective, and effective. He emphasized the need for American industries to remain competitive and announced a $500 billion project to build AI infrastructure in the US in collaboration with Japanese giant SoftBank and OpenAI. The increase in popularity of DeepSeek has raised concerns about the future of American AI models and the broader implications for the tech industry. So what? I'm not going to speculate on the security concerns associated with DeepSeek. I'll leave that for a later date when someone much smarter than us will have a deep dive into what these are. However, I agree with Trump's remarks that this is possibly going to have a positive impact eventually, driving competition and innovation. However, there are some significant risks. Critically, corporate espionage. It is likely that DeepSeek has benefited from the PRC's espionage program that routinely steals proprietary information from American and European companies to benefit Chinese growing companies. Additionally, labor and electricity costs are one big advantage that DeepSeek has over its US competitors, as this cost and resource allocation is likely to have an advantage in building bigger, better, and faster models. However, it is highly likely that the US will bounce back and outperform their Chinese competitor. Next, Denmark has announced a significant 14 billion kroner or 2.05 billion US dollars to bolster the military presence in the Arctic. This move comes amid heightened geopolitical tensions, particularly following US President Donald Trump's controversial statements about acquiring Greenland, an autonomous Danish territory. The investment aims to enhance surveillance capabilities in the Arctic and the North Atlantic regions through the procurement of new ships, long-range drones, and increased satellite capacity. The country's defense minister emphasized the need to address security challenges and assert sovereignty in these strategically important areas. The announcement has been seen positively by politicians across Denmark, Greenland, and the Faroe Islands, with further funding anticipated. The Danish Prime Minister is also seeking to secure Europe unity on Greenland during her upcoming meetings with key European leaders. The geopolitical significance of Greenland and its rich mineral resources and increasingly accessible due to global warming has drawn the attention of major powers such as Russia and China. This situation has reignited the independence debate in Greenland, with upcoming elections likely to focus on this issue. So what? This announcement is almost certainly a response to Trump's statements about Greenland. One of the key reasons that Trump has claimed to want the island is likely its role in geopolitical competition in the Arctic. This is also in addition to the significant deposits of rare earth minerals that are required for modern technologies such as batteries and microchips. It is likely that this boost in defense spending is designed to appease the US, but also may open the door for interoperability with US assets that could be used in and around the Arctic region. And lastly, the European Union has decided to ease sanctions on Syria following the fall of Bashar Assad's regime in December. This decision, announced by the EU Foreign Affairs Chief, aims to stabilize Syria by lifting restrictions on energy, transport, and financial sectors. The French Foreign Minister emphasized that these measures are crucial for Syria's financial stabilization. However, the EU has warned that the lifting of sanctions can be reversed if the new Syrian authority do not implement an inclusive political process and respect human rights. During Syria's 13-year civil war, Western states had imposed strict sanctions, drastically restricting exports and cutting off diplomatic and financial ties due to the Assad regime's abuses. The EU has called for Syria's new authority to ensure an inclusive political process and to protect the rights of ethnic and religious minorities in the country. The easing of sanctions is seen as a step towards Syria's recovery and stabilization, but it comes with conditions to ensure that progress is made in the governance and human rights spaces. So what? This is likely the best way to encourage growth and development within Syria. There is undoubtedly a lot of work to do following such a long period of conflict, and support from Western countries is likely key. However, there are some significant risks. It cannot be forgotten that this current government has grown out of an extremist group. So while they appear to be acting as a legitimate government, this should likely be approached with caution. Working with them has multiple interconnected benefits. It allows the West to help them form a stable and fair governance system, while also keeping a close eye on what is really happening on the ground. And the staged approach is likely the best way to achieve this. Thank you for tuning in to the Intel Brief, your daily geopolitical updates. You can support the show by sharing it with your friends and leaving us a 5-star review. And if you're curious to learn more about intelligence, you could check out one of our courses in the description below. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you next time.